Alright, we're going to do a couple bedrooms in an apartment. We got someone hired us because they're moving out. They want to get everything cleaned up, try to get some of their deposit money back. And it's basically been vacuumed already. And we're starting to put the pre-spray down. What are you using on this pre-spray this time? Two
caps of Tide with 2 gallons of water.
Yeah, we upped the dosage a little bit recently, and we were using 1 cap of Tide for 2 gallons, and now went ahead with 2 caps of Tide. Gives us a little bit better cleaning, and it's also because Tide just is cheap enough when you use it in this form that it's like you don't really need to try to conserve the cleaning solution.
Tide is cheap.
Yeah, Tide's pretty cheap compared to most other things you can clean carpets with, and we went ahead. We had a really greasy carpet that we had to clean, so we upped the dosage for that. So I just keep trying it for a while. If it doesn't seem like it's making a big difference, we may drop it back down. You can use 1 cap full or 2 capfuls. You don't want to go too crazy with it, or you'll end up having a lot of suds in your carpet you can't get out. But right now it seems to be a good balance. It's working pretty good.
The more soap you use, the better it cleans faster. But it can leave soap residue if you put too much, so you want to draw a fine line.
Yeah. Now we tested this when we don't want to leave a residue behind because that's not a good thing. So what we do is when we think we're going to change the dosage or something, we will try to pick it up go over it with an extractor after we've finished and make sure if we're picking up a lot of foam and a lot of other stuff in the carpet. So if we're leaving residue behind, we'll cut the dosage down because we don't want to do that. That's going to make the carpets resoil real quickly, and they'll feel a little bit stiff to the touch, and we want the carpets to be pretty soft. So he's going to do some pre-spray. He is going to use the Oreck brush for some of the stuff a little bit, not the whole carpet, but just some key areas. And then he's going to use the bonnet to get everything else. This carpet's it's starting to get, I call it when it starts to peel, or it gets little parts where the carpet starts to ball up, and it's because it's pretty worn down. And the fibers they've lost their integrity, and you can kind of see generally the carpet is it's just dull and flat and worn out looking. So this will help fluff it back up, but I wouldn't be surprised if they end up replacing this carpet at this point.
It's pretty old.
It's pretty old. It's been in here a few years, and we've cleaned it for another resident once upon a time, but I mean the people that move in this particular apartment usually stay for a while, so it doesn't get cleaned all that often. Well, I'm going to stop this particular clip, and we'll start back up again when we get ready to start using the machine, because we're almost ready. So keep watching, and we'll show you some more of that. Alright, we're starting now with the brush attachment on the Oreck. He's just going to scrub in some of you can see the carpet's getting kind of loose.
I'm really just trying to stand up some of the worn down fibers. This isn't to take stains out, it's to help some fiber damage. A lot of times this will it'll help fix the carpet that's got the fibers worn down. Sometimes it won't.
Look at that big old wad of hair you dug up. Oh, you just stop for a second here. Yeah, this is one of those where to save a little money, the customer vacuumed the carpet. And I don't think
something that stays in the carpet.
Yeah, I don't think their vacuum works that great.
Well, this machine's aggressive enough, it pulls off a lot of stuff that you won't think it'll get to.
Yeah.
Stuff that a vacuum will miss.
This is one of the things we've shown in some other videos. If you use this before you vacuum your carpets, it gets down to all the deeply embedded stuff. You can see it pull up another piece. It gets all the deeply embedded stuff out. And number one, break that loose so you don't have to run over it with your vacuum cleaner and get stuck in your brushes, because you'll see it first. But also, a lot of times if you got stuff really embedded, the vacuum won't really be able to dig it out.
Go in there.
Alright, he's done brushing here. Let's see how many more hairs we get. Alright. Yeah, the brush does a good job. It kind of just digs things up all over the carpet. Now you could tell, I saw their vacuum that they had. It was like just a regular Hoover upright, not an El Cheapo one either, a decent one. And you could tell when we vacuum these carpets with our rigid wet dry and the carpet nozzle, you don't find stuff like that coming out. So it actually does a pretty good job, even though there's no brush bar on it. It's got enough suction hooked up to a wet dry like that, that after you make a few passes from multiple directions, it does a good job agitating, and it gets most of the embedded stuff out. There's still occasionally some things that you won't get.
Someone asked us, is it easy to move the brush side to side and stuff on these oil burners? Here's the way it works. The brush works good if you go forward and backwards. You can move it side to side a little bit, but it's kind of hard to move across the carpet side to side because it grips into the carpet so good. The bonnet buffet goes pretty much any direction you want to without too much trouble. But the brush, you kind of have to, it's easier if you kind of go forwards and backwards. Just aim into a spot that you want to brush and brush that area and go forwards and backwards through the carpets. It's easier. But you can go side to side some like I'm doing, but it's a lot more work. See, I'm done brushing.
All right.
You might as well just leave the film rolling. I'll go get the...
You just go get the bonnet. So that is not, I don't think, so much human hair. That's just some pieces of the carpet that, like I said, this carpet's pretty worn out. I'll take this outside real quick while he's doing that. We finally got some decent spring weather here to clean in. I'll just drop that out there. We have lots of birds making nests right now, so they'll love that. Yep, they're up there enjoying it already. I think they were putting the word out. Did you see what he just dropped? Yeah, we got lots of birds. All right. Well, he's getting the machine ready. You can see we have a beautiful Central Texas spring day. And Central Texas is marked for its trees, which don't get very big because of the harsh weather. It gets very hot in the summertime and the trees just don't. Good. The trees don't get enough water every year to grow very big. All right, here we go. We're going to do what we can with this particular carpet because it's just so worn out that there's not really a lot you can do with it. We'll make it look a little bit better, but when people come in here, the maintenance people will be coming in to get the apartment ready for the next tenants. And when they start walking on the carpet, it's going to mat down real fast. And I suspect they'll end up replacing it. Although if they don't, and they have us clean it, try to use it one more time, we'll be in here cleaning and probably make another video about it.
You want to pick that up for me?
Yeah, when we're doing these rental properties, a lot of times to save a little money, the customer will suggest, well, they can vacuum. And on this particular case, this is someone trying to get their deposit back. So when the carpets are dry in about 2 or 3 hours, if they want to come and go over it with the vacuum again one more time, that's something they can do. The light's burned out in there, so you can't really see. But generally, when we're cleaning a vacant apartment and we're getting it ready for the next tenant, we vacuum it really, really thoroughly, and we make sure there's nothing really left behind and make the carpets look as nice as possible. When we're doing a carpet for someone who's trying to save a little money, they want to get their deposit back or whatever, what we do is the best deal we'll give them is you vacuum, and we'll clean the carpet, get the stains out for you, and kind of make the carpet fibers look better again. And then if you didn't do a very good job vacuuming, you may want to vacuum it again to make sure that it looks as good as possible so the manager will see it. Because we're not going to come back in here and post vacuum. That's going to be something the customer can do. And some of the people we do inspect that have monthly inspections on their units, we have the same kind of deal with them. Is you vacuum up the carpet, and we'll just run the machine and clean it. And if we have to vacuum, we charge a little extra on that for those situations, because people are on a tight budget, and to save some money, we're happy to take a step out if it's something that will still end up with a clean carpet. But when you're using a method like this to clean with, your carpets are going to be dry in 2 or 3 hours, where you can go over them with a vacuum cleaner if you want to, and post vacuum.
Maybe less.
Yeah, and it's a good idea if you wait till your carpets are dry to go over it again, because carpet bonnets and brushes, they dig stuff out that's deep in the carpet matting that you just don't know is in there. And I don't think these people vacuumed as regularly as they should. So
well, these people, this vacuum gun, it's just, this thing pulls up a lot of stuff that you don't even know is in there. It's stuff a vacuum misses.
yeah,
This will, no matter how nice your vacuum cleaner is, or how expensive it is, or how good it works, this will find stuff that your vacuum cleaner misses every time. It's so powerful.
Unless you're one of those people that get you brand new carpet and you vacuum it every couple of days and maintain it that way, you probably won't get a lot of buildup in your carpet. But most people are going to occasionally have those times when they just don't feel like vacuuming for a couple of weeks. During that time, you're going to get some stuff that's embedded. And if you've got pets and they had a couple of cats, you're going to end up with pet fur in your carpet that is probably going to build up over time. Yeah, you can see it's still digging up a lot of stuff.
No, he vacuumed good. He did his best, but no vacuum can stand up to one of these machines. All right, let's head to the next room.
Now, we had a subscriber who also has an Oreck, and he asked a question this week about, he said that he sees that we go pretty fast with the machine, and when he tries to go fast, there's a lot of work and he can't seem to get it to go for him like that. He has to go a lot slower. And along baseboards and along walls, he says the machine, it seems like it bounces, get into the wall a lot and vibrates. Now, and we kind of told him what I'm going to mention here. Different carpet types, it's gonna make a difference on how the machine runs. He was asking us because we put down more free spray maybe to make it smoother, but that really doesn't make that big a difference if your bonnet's wet or if you put down a lot of extra free spray. That's not going to make a big difference. It's just really probably the carpets that we clean in these rental units. These are the kind of carpets that contractors put in, new homes, starter homes. They're not designed to really hold up for 20 years. It's only going to last maybe 5 years, and then you're going to start seeing wear and tear, and then that's on the owners to replace their carpets with something nicer if they want. They buy these things in bulk, and it's not necessarily the kind of carpet that you would choose for your own home, but it's basically the kind of thing you're going to find in rental houses, and that's probably one of the reasons we don't have a lot of trouble with these carpets. They're not real thick, and the fibers are not designed in such a way that you're going to find a lot of resistance when you walk on them. You'll feel they're not as bouncy as a more expensive carpet. But if you're doing sculpted carpets or really high quality expensive carpets, you may have a little more trouble than it looks like we do. But it's going to vary. The machine we may make it look like it's pretty easy to use the machine, but it does take a little bit of effort.
It's easy once you get used to it.
Yeah, and of course, with anything, you get used to it over time, and you'll find it easier and easier.
It's easy. It's actually fun to use. I always look forward to cleaning the carpet with this machine.
I enjoy watching the machine being used because I find it very low effort. Now, when you're doing hard floors and things like that, there's hardly any effort at all involved in moving the machine around, but carpets do take some work. It's definitely not as hard as running most extractors. Something like a Hoover steam vac or something like that would probably be more effort required to keep it moving around than it takes with this. Alright, the carpet's almost done. We're going to come back and rake it, and he'll probably vacuum it again himself later. But we're going to put a link in the video description below for the Oreck and for the different attachments that we use, so you can Go check on Amazon if you want to, and you can read other customers' reviews on not just the Oreck, but on the bonnet and everything else. And there's some comments on some of our videos if you want to read those, that you can see some of the things people ask about them and everything. And I hope we try to cover everything as much as we can, but I hope you'll be able to find some answers that way. And if you want to use the Amazon links, just to explain how those work, it doesn't add to the price of anything you buy when you use someone's affiliate link, because you're going to pay the same price regardless. But it helps out the people who put up the videos or write the reviews to, for the time that they take into putting things up to help other people maybe find a good machine or something that they want to have for their own use. So we try to do that, not just to make a little money, but also because it's always helpful for people to be able to find the product that you're using and talking about. If you've got questions or comments or anything, please feel free to leave those below, and we'll try to answer them as best as we can. And things are a little slow this week. We probably won't have any other videos till next week sometime, but I hope you enjoy this one. It's kind of a short one this week. And if you have any questions at all, let us know. And besides that, I might show, when we come back over here in Oreck, I may show you a finished result if things work out that way, because we're not going to be back for a few minutes. But if not, then thanks for watching this video, and if you stay tuned, you may see the raking if we get over here in time. But thanks for watching, and keep tuning in. We'll put up a new video soon. I'll talk to you later. All right, the aftermath of cleaning and raking. As you kind of see, carpets are pretty worn out. This is what's basically a result of, it didn't get vacuumed very well before we started. But you can see the rake picked up some of the stuff, so I need to clean my rake. I've seen people commenting on these, on the grinding room, some of the reviews. Amazon has a lot of reviews on this product, and some people don't like it very well. I think the way that you should consider this is not really designed to do something magic to your carpet. It's a good tool to use before you run your vacuum cleaner, because some of the stuff that you can see is caught in the rake is going to help bring it to the surface so your vacuum can pick it up. But I found in my own experience, like long hairs and things like that, it doesn't necessarily grab them and hold on to them. What it does is it gets them out of your carpet fibers and loosen so you can pick them up with a vacuum. And of course, the other great thing you can do with this is when you finish doing your vacuuming for the day, or when you run your carpet machine to clean your carpets, you can rake with this. And that way it'll give you a nice final appearance. This is going to help the carpet to dry more evenly and quicker, and it's going to give you a real great appearance as long as you don't walk on the carpet. Once you walk on the carpet, your footprints are going to stand out. But if you use one of these, it's really nice. You can keep your carpets looking fresh all the time, and it also helps the carpets to last longer because you're breaking up the embedded dirts and everything in them and getting them so your vacuum can do a better job. But that's the grinding room in all its glory, and it's very dirty right now. But I'm going to put a link below for that also, because it's this is less than $30 for something that's going to really help you keep your carpets a lot cleaner and everything. So it's a very valuable tool, but it's not designed to do miracles. So you have to keep in mind, you still need to vacuum, you still need to run your carpet extractors, and this is a good thing to help the results get you better results and make your finished product look good. But just remember that's what it's for, and don't be too disappointed by the other reviews that say it doesn't work very well, because that's people that are trying to use it for something it's not really designed to do. But thanks for watching, and we'll try to put another video up next week for everybody. And until then, thanks. Alright, we're going to do a couple bedrooms in an apartment. We got someone hired us because they're moving out. They want to get everything cleaned up, try to get some of their deposit money back. And it's basically been vacuumed already. And we're starting to put the pre-spray down. What are you using on this pre-spray this time? Two
caps of Tide with 2 gallons of water.
Yeah, we upped the dosage a little bit recently, and we were using 1 cap of Tide for 2 gallons, and now went ahead with 2 caps of Tide. Gives us a little bit better cleaning, and it's also because Tide just is cheap enough when you use it in this form that it's like you don't really need to try to conserve the cleaning solution.
Tide is cheap.
Yeah, Tide's pretty cheap compared to most other things you can clean carpets with. And we went ahead, we had a really greasy carpet that we had to clean, so we upped the dosage for that, decided to just keep trying it for a while. If it doesn't seem like it's making a big difference, we may drop it back down. You can use 1 capful or 2 capfuls. You don't want to go too crazy with it or you'll end up having a lot of suds in your carpet you can't get out. But right now it seems to be a good balance. It's working pretty
The
good.
more soap you use, the better it cleans faster, but it can leave soap residue if you put too much, so you want to draw a fine line.
Yeah. Now we tested this when we don't want to leave a residue behind because that's not a good thing. So what we do is when we think we're going to change the dosage or something, we will try to pick it up go over it with an extractor after we've finished. And make sure if we're picking up a lot of foam and a lot of other stuff in the carpet. So if we're leaving residue behind, we'll cut the dosage down because we don't want to do that. That's going to make the carpets resoil real quickly and they'll feel a little bit stiff to the touch. And we want the carpet